Hello guys, so I am CA Vinay Kumar. So I am making this video to that how you can effectively use the IBS material that I have created. I have created the Google Drive link in that file. The first number is new case studies issued by ICAI case study digest till November 23 and ICAI Feb 23 Feb 24 journal. Second one is other remaining case studies. Third one are initial wording index, subject wise index, and topic wise index. So in this video, I will explain how you can use this all these files and all along with the other files that I have created for SPOM, S law and SCMP. So like firstly, this one is the material that is carrying new case studies issued by ICAI that is uh, written on the first page, that is case studies Feb 24 journal and case studies issued by November 23 केस स्टडी डाइजेस्ट. अब इस फाइल के अंदर क्या होगा, इन द इनिशियल पेजेस द इंडेक्स ऑफ ईच केस स्टडीज इज properly given, that like 15 case studies is recently issued by ISI. If that is repeated later on, so I will put here the remarks where that case study is repeated or not. Similar with now with the case study digest, that is from the case study number this and this, you can see that 15 case studies issued by ISI and remaining are 16, 17 and 18. And there are 44 case studies issued in case study digest till November 23. And in that, there are some of the case studies that has been repeated, near approx 9 to 10 case studies were repeated that were either recently issued in recently case studies, MTPs and RTP. One was repeated in RTP. So after removing that, the remaining case studies were left was from, you can see this from 16 to 50, that is 34 case studies. So 10 case studies were repeated, and in the last journal case study, three journal case studies have been issued by ICAI in Feb 24 journal. So at the last, there are three case studies, particularly relating to mostly SCMP. So if you want some SCMP, then you can solve these case studies. So I will make one other material also, like in which in the sequence that you can solve the case studies. Like all the these case studies you do not have to solve, because this will take too much time to solve for particularly my 24, and later onwards student can attempt all the case studies as per his convenience and time. But for this my 24, I will also issue the sequence for the importance of newly case studies, case study digest, MTP exam and all. So here is this file, and you can see that if the any case study is repeated, I have kept the same number in this file, but I have removed the initial number. Like अब मैं इसकी बात करूंगा यहाँ पे, जैसे केस स्टडी 2 रिपीटेड थी, जो रिसेंटली केस स्टडी 4 है, बिकॉज अब वो ऊपर कवर्ड हो गई है, तो उसको नीचे कवर्ड करने के लिए कोई रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं है. तो इसलिए मैंने आई रिमूव द नंबर फ्रॉम दैट इज 16, देन इट नो नंबर इज देयर, एंड आई रिमूव द फ्रॉम दिस case study file. Next is like you can see that case study number 5. Here I have written that MTP number 1 and question 1 a bit change, not required to do that. एक क्वेश्चन 1 चेंज हुआ था, बट उसको वहाँ रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं थी, तो मैंने इसको यहाँ पे भी कवर नहीं किया केस स्टडी 5 के लिए. तो ऐसे मैंने यहाँ पे प्रॉपरली एक सीक्वेंसिंग दी है कि अगर कोई भी केस स्टडी any case study that I am removing, a proper sequence is there and a reconciliation is there, that which case study have been removed and then against which case study it has been removed, like recently issued, MTP, RTP, whatever the case is. So I properly reconciled. So you later on, if you want to reconcile or check that, so I properly made that. Now next file is other remaining case studies, and this file is updated till my 24 MTP1. दैट इज इन इनिशियली. अब जैसे अगर कोई ये वाला इंडेक्स देखेगा, एनालिसिस ऑफ पास पेपर मॉक टेस्ट एंड आरटीपी, इन दिस if any case study that has been repeated in the exam, on the left hand side past year questions analysis is there. So like you can see from the November 2018 until now, you, no, actually no case study have been repeated from the case study digest particularly, because in old course there was paper number 6F that was relating to multidisciplinary, and no case study have been repeated in the actual exam. But seeing the trend that I say do keep repeat the question from the subject main subject, that is FR, AFM. The question from those subjects kept on repeating, but not from the as it is from case study digest particularly. Not MTP, I'm saying from the case study digest, because this reconciliation is from case study digest. Because in MTP there are many case studies that have been repeated from the case study digest, that you can see my 20, there are 4 case studies were repeated, and up to October 20, 2 case studies were repeated, January all repeated, and so that's all the reconciliation with case study digest. If any case study is repeated, I will not keep this file in particular other remaining case studies. Those case studies will be in the first, that is new case study digest on all that, so that proper reconciliation is there. Like in October 23 case study 2, but do from the MTP latest, because same case study 3, but if doing from the latest one is also preferable, is always preferable. Similar with the RTP and all my 24 MTP one, because two case studies were repeated. Now after that there is a sequence, so I will properly क्या मैं अभी इसमें भी बताऊंगा कि आपको इसका इंडेक्स का भी कैसे यूजफुल करना है। जैसे आगे जो पेज नंबर्स हैं, जैसे ये मैंने प्रोवाइड किया ना, जो इस फाइल के अंदर भी देखोगे, स्टार्टिंग में इनिशियली देयर आर एमटीपी केस स्टडीज, then after that suggested answer exam case studies are there, then after in the last RTPs will be there. In if anyone will be referring in future also, firstly MTP, then exam paper, and then RTP will be there. And if any case study that have been repeated, I will remove the number as explained earlier, like uh, and the case study number in case study digest, and the number will remain same. I will not change the number, because if you want to reconcile from that particular MTP or RTP, so that you can properly see from that also, because I've just all compiled in the shorter version. Like you can see 482 pages in that this file and 275. So in less than almost 800 pages, all the compilations of case study have been done. And now they are the three index that I have created. Like you can this is initial wording index. I will properly tell how to effectively use this index now. Like then is subject wise index, and then is topic wise index. There are three index carrying 50 pages each. The difference is just that the sorting and analysis and all that have been done according to that. अब जैसे फर्स्टली मैं बात करूं, द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट इंडेक्स इज सब्जेक्ट वाइज इंडेक्स, and how you will use this index, I will tell now. Like firstly, if like in the case study, if you are solving in the exam, it is most common that you will pick the which subject is have been asked from the particularly question. Like if I'm moving from the case remaining case study, I'm random opening any page number. uh, let's keep 200, I'm not sure. So let's find any case study that is the promoters of the company are law compliant, and this is from the income tax, that is direct tax, and the promoters of the company. The initial word is T, and the subject is direct tax. So let's move to direct tax. अब इसमें भी कैसे देखना है हमें, how to we have to find, firstly move to the first page, that is DT from 9 to 19. From 9 to 19, that is DT here, the promoters, and T will be at the last, because the in this particularly in index, इन सब्जेक्ट वाइज इंडेक्स के अंदर कैसे सॉर्टिंग हुई है, रिलेटिंग सब्जेक्ट वाइज। इनिशियल उसका इंडेक्स भी मैंने इनिशियली फर्स्ट पेज के अंदर प्रोवाइड कर दिया था यहाँ पे, like here subject wise index, that firstly AFM, then audit DT, FR, IDT, law, and SCMP. And on the top of the each page the subject is also written, because if someone quickly have to move on to the pages, that he can properly and fastly move on to the pages, so that you can save a second of time that is precious in the exam time. Like moving to now page number 10. Now the question was relating to the promoters. Let's move on to T. T will be at the last, the promoters. Here you can find that the promoters of the company are the law compliant and do not want to see on the wrong side. Now here I'm saying that it is relating to October 23. You can see from the top side, and in each page, in on top of each page, subject, topic, and bold heading is also there, so that later in earlier version also I missed this on the suggestion I have received, that I have to keep this on all the pages, कि जो ऊपर हेडिंग है हर पेज पे, ताकि किसी को उस एक सेकंड वापस टाइम देखने में कंफ्यूजन आ रहा है कि उस वो किस लाइन के अंदर है। अब जैसे इसमें पर्टिकुलरली बात थी कि this was relating to October 23 and MTP, and question case study was 1 and question number is 6, and it is a descriptive type. And here you can see that type, in this type M and D is already written in all the pages. That means M for MCQ and D for descriptive. And MTP will remain MTP exam if there is any previous exam question that is written as exam. CSD means case study digest, and newly issued case studies have been written here. Case study digest, I will also make sure that now DT, the question was relating to the promoters, that particularly see that it was relating to October 23 MTP and case study number 1. Let's move on to that. अब जैसे अभी तो मैंने यहाँ पे रैंडम पेज नंबर ओपन किया था, like we can see this is an exam. Now let's move on to the how we will use this now particularly file. like we have seen that question was relating to MTP October 23. So let's move on to this index where is October 23 MTP, and only case study number one, because other than case studies were repeated from the case study digest. So it is starting from page 195 and 201. So page 195, so 201, 195, 201, and question number was 6. Here we can see that how we can simplify. अब जैसे तो मेरे को पता था, मैंने 200 पेज नंबर ओपन किया था randomly. अब मैं कोई again any, let's pick anyone, any question. Hmm. This is an like what are the risk factors to be considered in the matter of merger of Magnum with यमुना. अब इस क्वेश्चन से हमें रिस्क फैक्टर्स अब किस में पूछ रहे हैं, मर्जर से रिलेटेड. इट कैन बी केस ऑफ ऑडिट, AFM, because what are the risk factors, mostly, and SCMP can also be there, mergers related, what are the risk factors. So we are particularly not sure. So now in this case, what index you will use, that is initial wording index, not particularly subject wise, because the difference between subject wise and initial wording is just that in initial wording, if you are not sure about the subject, you can justly move on to this. The word in initial wording was what are the risk factors. So we can directly move on to the word W, and W is the starting from page number 37 to 48. So directly move on to the page number 37, one page ahead. Now, what are the risk factors? But just the main issue in this particularly index is just that if you are not sure about the subject, then use this index, because if you are damn sure that which subject have been asked, then move on to this index, because this will save more time, or seconds of your time, that is precious, because in this can save 10 seconds, like particularly, or more than a part of the seconds that. अब यहाँ पे W से रिलेटेड मिक्स सब्जेक्ट्स होंगे यहाँ पे, तो थोड़ा टाइम लग सकता है कि व्हाट आर द रिस्क फैक्टर है, हम जल्दी से 6 पेजेस, जैसे W से रिलेटेड ओनली 10 पेजेस है, W में 10 पेजेस में सर्च करना, और रेदर पर्टिकुलरली 2-3 पेजेस के अंदर सर्च करना, बिकॉज इन पर्टिकुलरली one subject question relating to starting from W will be a much lesser than comparing to the whole as a combination of all the subjects. So now let's move on to what are the risk factors. What are the risk factors? What are will be in the front? What are the risk factors? Let's see. What are the factors to be considered? What are the risk? Now, yeah, here on the top. What are the risk factor to be considered in the matter of merger? And this is relating to my 18, case study number 3, question number 11. So अब इसमें भी वापस कैसे लुक ऑन करना है, my 18. हम सबसे पहले अपने इनिशियल पेजेस पे आएंगे, जो इस इंडेक्स ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलरली केस स्टडीज फाइल, एंड इट वाज रिलेटिंग टू my 18 and case study number 3, my 18 exam paper, my 18 exam paper case study number 3, starting from page number 253 and question number 11. Move on to 253 page number, a bit next page, case study number 3. Here you can see question number 3, question number 11 of this particularly, what are the risk factors, because we were not sure about which subject is there, because particularly you can see that it is written AFM, because the factor that have been written are from the merger and acquisition AFM chapter. So if you are not sure about, because you can see SCMP can be there, audit can also be there here. What are the risk factor in case of mergers? We are not sure just from the seeing the question, I'm saying, because if you read the case study, you may see that you are the auditor or you are hired as a consultant or whatever the case is. So accordingly, you can see this. And just one in this file is that some case studies with reference to para have been written. Like I will show with the reference. In respect of like this, in respect of para number this and this provided, uh, I have removed all this initial wordings in all the case index, like the because ICAI can change this any point of time in respect of with para. If you will see from I and they have kept with respect to para, you will not find this any case study. So the main is that look after the comma whenever this line, wherever the line is ending, like above or comma is there. The word is starting from E. Examine whether the cost of new component. So now let's see. I'm not sure, examine whether the cost. Now which subject is there? Let's see. New component recognizes an asset. So it is relating to accounting. That means FR and E. Let's move on to our subject-wise index. Firstly, page number 1, where FR is starting, page number 20, and the question was starting from examine whether the cost. Examine. Let's move on to E. Examine whether the cost of the new component server to be recognized as an asset. We can see that November 20 exam case study number 4. अब इसमें भी कैसे आएंगे? November 20. Let's move on to page number 6. November 20 exam paper case study number 4, 336 to 40. 337 here according to the PDF. And which question number is there? Case study number 2. Wait. Case study number 4, question number 7. Case study number 4, question number 7. Here you can see that. So wherever the case in respect of with reference to para number, this type of word will be if you are seeing that relating to para word, like with reference to para above, ignore that those words because ICAI may change anytime in respect of with उसको इन रिस्पेक्ट की जगह वो विद रेफरेंस टू करके विद रेफरेंस टू इन रिस्पेक्ट ऑफ उनको भी चेंज इंटरचेंज कर सकती है. So the main focus should be on the initial wording of the actual question, that is examine, please answer the following. अब इस वर्ड से जल्दी से देखना वहां पे कि केस स्टडी इंडेक्स के अंदर कैसे होगा और विच सब्जेक्ट इट इज बीन आस्क्ड. अब ये हो गया. अब जैसे अब नाउ मूविंग टू नाउ थर्ड इंडेक्स, दैट इज टॉपिक वाइज इंडेक्स. अब इसके अंदर क्या होगा कि अब हमें पता चल गया कि मेनली दिस इंडेक्स इज हेल्पफुल वाइल इफ यू आर सोल्विंग केस स्टडीज. अब जैसे कोई बंदा सोल्व कर रहा है बहुत टाइम पहले अपने एग्जाम से, तो उसको पर्टिकुलरली कोई एक टॉपिक से अपना सर्च करना है वहाँ पे, जैसे मैकेंजी से रिलेटेड या फिर कोई पर्टिकुलरली डीटी में जाके कोई एक टॉपिक सर्च करना है अपना, टीडीएस से रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन जो भी सारे हो. लाइक अब मैं यहाँ पे जाऊँ कि अब मेरे को सीएसआर से रिलेटेड प्रोविजन सर्च करने हैं अपने सारे. आई हैव टू चेक माई सीएसआर प्रोविजन दैट आई हैव प्रॉपर नॉलेज इन और द relevant knowledge as per the questions. Or capital gain question you can see, like moving C and capital gain, all questions in this case studies are here, capital relating to capital gain, so we can solve or see those case studies or questions. Relating to car is also there, charge under GST, so we can particularly see all the uh, questions that are came from particularly that company audit is there. Then CSR is also CS, like if the question is from CSR compromise, so we particularly jump on this directly. Like अब CSR वैसे particularly remove हो चुका है, बट अगर आई से फिर भी पूछती है तो CSR पे हम जल्दी मूव करके, बिकॉज CSR कैन बी आस्क्ड इन लो, FR और लो. सो अगर कोई ऐसा है तो उसके लिए होगा, या अगर किसी को जस्ट प्रोविजन चेक ऑन करने हैं एग्जाम के लिए, यू कैन स्किप दिस पर्टिकुलरली इंडेक्स. द मेन इंडेक्स आर पर्टिकुलरली सब्जेक्ट वाइज, देन इनिशियल वर्डिंग और इनिशियल वर्डिंग इंडेक्स, जस्ट दैट. Because subject wise index and then topic wise initial wording will save your time, and if you are not sure about the subject then just move on to the initial wording index and you can save your time, precious time, because यहाँ पे जैसे मैंने बता दिया था वहाँ पे कैसे अपने टाइम को सेव कर सकते हैं. और इस अब दोनों फाइल्स को डिपेंड करता है कि 1/4 अपना प्रिंट करवा लो, जैसे एक पेज जैसे वो 2 आ जाते हैं, एक साइड पे 2 पेज आ जाते हैं, रिमेनिंग ऑन 2, दैट्स आर कंफर्टेबली विजिबल, एंड index you can print one side on one page particularly. So here is the relating to particularly IBS, and if you still have any query with relating to material you have to carry, particularly with relation to case studies, except others with relation to other subject material, I will share in separate in next video ki what material you have to carry. Like for particularly FR you can carry concept notes or question bank, and on respect of all the subjects. Now if I talk about particularly SPM subject, I have created the concept file, question file, and the SPM file. I will show this here also with relation to SCMP, question file and index file. Let's wait. So here is the file with relation to SCMP particularly. This is file of particularly ICAI study material only, and just I have separated concepts, all the concepts of relevant chapter and the question at the back have been created in separate file, so that if anyone want to carry just the concept file, he can carry 532 pages and just print on 1/2 on one side, that he can save almost, it will be printed on 150 nearby 120 30 pages almost approx to that, or 140 really. and and proper index like on which page which chapter is starting is also there, because here I have created my own page number also, like page number 3, and all relation to that you will find, you can see that. And in we have created the index also, CF Shigupta and me have created this file where we have kept the relation to do you know, test your understanding, concept and practical insights, and the relation to concepts also. And important concepts of the relevant chapter have been kept very red and bold. And top of the each chapter alphabet and chapter wise number is also there, and heading on each page is also there, so that we properly can move this. And if you want to connect us on Telegram, YouTube, or particularly LinkedIn, so you can click on this file also. You will directly jump onto the relevant group also. Like here is SCMP and all that. Just the if you will click on this the buttons, you will connect with us. Now, this there are two index in this for SCMP: chapter wise index and the topic wise index. Because if you are particularly sure that on from which topic is it has been asked, if anyone have studied earlier also, or if you show that like we have which from which chapter the topic has been asked, you can just move on to that topic, and you can just see this sort this file. Or if you are not sure about the chapter, which chapter has been asked, move on to the SCMP topic wise index. Because according to me, for particularly no one will able to study properly for this subject. So you just move on to this index topic wise. Firstly, move on to this topic wise index, because if you are not sure about the particularly subject which from which chapter the question or concept has been asked, move on to this topic wise. And you can on the previous file you will also see that from which page number ABC, a relevant page, has been started. And so in previous file I have not kept this page number or index file for this particular page number file, and here this one, and on the second page number this one. So I will share separately also if anyone want to print just this two pages. Like here you can see that A from A word, because in the recent paper McKenzie 7S was asked. So for that, like I will, if I will open from the remaining case study MTP, let me open the recent MTP. MTP was here. I will show one thing. Case study in 233. So how will you use this index also? Like assess each of the hard and soft elements based on the McKenzie 7S framework. Because from the relevant case study, you will find one keyword relating to the concept. Like McKenzie 7S was a separate word from all the remaining words. So we directly jump onto this index that is here, and topic wise, because you do not know about on which chapter the McKenzie 7S is there. So directly move on to M. M starts from here only, and McKenzie 7S. And I've kept this as bold also, because McKenzie 7S is very important. So directly jump onto this McKenzie 7S here. And if you want to see or cover the important topics, you can cover just the bold topics, and you can see in that case use from the chapter wise file. Because chapter wise file you will see that which point or case relevant concept is important. And particularly in this SCMP, chapter 5 has been newly incorporated and is in relation to newly issues like startups and their automation and all, blockchain, 3D printing and all. So cover the chapter 5, or once go through the concept what have been there, so that it will help in your examination. Because these are recent and newly incorporated 100%, and totally new chapter is there. So we'll not find a relevant revision video just at this point of time also for this particular chapter. And in next file, the question has been there and the index is also there from which page the question has been asked. And the third one was relating to the concept file that have been told, and only concepts are there in this file. And the last one is relating to law. These four topics have been created. So this I will give the brief, and how will you use, I will share in separate video also for particularly law. Here you can see this topic wise index is there. This is the main important index in this file. To again chapter, then topic A to that means firstly the chapter wise sorting is there, then according to ABC is there. This will not be relevant in case of SCMP, because you will not know the chapter. If you know the chapter, then move on to this that but chapter 1 also. ABCD according to that chapter you will not be sure, according to me. That will not be relevant in that SCMP. Topic wise index will be relevant. So you should have a grip on that topic wise index too. And in case of IBS, the main index will be subject-wise index, then initial wording index, then type both. Just carry two index in this exam. And if you want to solve or see the concept, then only topic-wise index is there, not for the particular examination purpose. Now, for relation to law, the chapter one sorting is there, and chapter two and all, and index is also there. From which page, which chapter is there, and firstly, the corporate law is there, then economic law is there. Just that, and according to which additional director or alternate director, you can see that short from this file, casual vacancies there, cooling off period, whatever the case is, you can just, D number is there, so you can just move on to this index and find from which chapter is being there. If you're not sure which chapter, from which chapter it has been asked, move on to the topic wise index again. Here it is starting with A, or and proper index of that particularly alphabet is also there, from which page number the A word is being start, and on all the top of the page the alphabet is also there. So thanks. If you have any doubt, you can just click on this Telegram channel, and you can still, or LinkedIn also, you can still ask. And all the, if you click this book also, in case of each file, you will jump onto the relevant material also. Like if you click on this index, you will see the law files is also, or also there. In case of SCMP also IBS, I've created this. If you will click on that particularly book, you will jump onto the relevant material also. So thanks from my particularly all, and you can still ask, and feel free to ask any query if you have. And that my Telegram channel, CA Final IBS Vinay Kumar. You can search on that, or if you will just click on this file also, like Telegram channel, you will jump onto my channel. Here it is there. So thanks for my side.